Agnes Catherine Nampija. I'm greatly impressed by the Toastmaster, and I'm a new team. I'm a new individual on board. I look forward to learning from all the Toastmasters here. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this morning in taking the timer role. Now, who is going to be another role taker in this fabulous morning? Do we have Toastmaster Mario in the room? Mr. President, can you confirm if our grammarian is in the room?
I think she's not here, but we can move on. She will join us later.
Okay, perfect. In today's agenda, we are going to have two parts. Once where we have the prepared speech presented and immediately where the feedback comes around. And the second part is going to be led by none other than our Janie Mule, who's going to be leading the table topic sessions. For now, I am going to invite our evaluator for our first speaker, Toastmaster Angus. Can you kindly please introduce your speaker and please tell us a sentence or two about your achievement, about your story and action that you have been taking that make you an excellent communicator or a successful person today.
Great. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to today's meeting. I'm so excited to be evaluating Drissa Soro, and mainly because he is moving up and up and up in his journey. He is on level 3 and he's doing his second speech on that level. The project is about using descriptive language. And the purpose is for him to practice writing a speech with emphasis on adding language to increase interest and impact. We're going to have a round-robin evaluation, so let's all look out for descriptive language, for literary elements such as plot, setting. As you're listening to him, are you engaged? Are you interested? Toastmasters and guests, his speech title is Welcome to Wonderland. Welcome to Wonderland, Drissa Soro.
Thank you, Agnes. Good morning, everyone. Esteemed Toastmasters, fellow members, honored guests. This morning, I put on my kanzu because I want to take you on a journey to a land dear and special to me. It's a land of vibrant colors, diverse cultures, and breathtaking landscapes. Close your eyes and imagine. Imagine yourself stepping your foot into a country that is as beautiful as it is welcoming. Picture the warmth of the sun kissing your skin as you embark on your adventure into this country. As you open your eyes, the first thing that captivates you is the lush greenery that stretches as far as I can see. The country rightfully referred to as the Pearl of Africa. It is a land blessed with abundance, the abundance of natural wonders, from the vast savannas to the towering mountains. This country is a heaven for nature enthusiasts and explorers alike. You find yourself in the bustling capital city of Kampala, a melting pot of culture, and the vibrant heartbeat of Uganda. The air is filled with the sound of energetic street vendors at Owino markets, the so creative cutaway people who can make virtually anything, the Kampala road geeks who can make your broken iPhone work better than a new one, the Buddha riders at Kampala Kamucha offering their services with infectious enthusiasm. As you walk through the busy streets, the aroma of the delicacies, the local delicacies, whirl through the air, tempting your taste bud, Chikamondo, Rolex, you name it. But beyond this, it's beyond the city limits that this country truly reveals the majesty of its beauty. Your journey takes you to the world Buindi impenetrable forests, a sanctuary for one of the world's most endangered species, the mountain gorillas. As you trek through the dense foliage, your heart races with anticipation, and there it is, right in front of you, a family of gorillas. Going through the daily routine, your breast catches in your throat as you witness these magnificent creatures in the natural habitats, and experience that you will never forget. Leaving the gorillas behind, you venture to Queen Elizabeth National Park, where a different kind of wildlife spectacle awaits you. The landscape transforms into open plains dotted with acacia trees, shimmering lakes. Here, you embark in a thrilling safari, eager to spot the famous tree-climbing lions. In this park they call home. As your jeep navigates in the dusty trails, you spot the majestic lion perched at the top of a branch, a sight that's so surreal it seems straight from a storybook. Continuing your expedition, you find yourself at the bank of the mighty River Nile, the longest river in Africa. As you cruise along the river, you spot a herd of elephants. They navigate the trail of the river, and the trunk raise in celebration of the simple pleasures of the nature. It reminds you that the nature's beauty knows no bound. But this country, this land, is not about only our inspiring landscape. It is its people. Its people with the infectious smile, the warm hospitality that adds the layer of magic to your journey. You encounter the vibrant tribes of Uganda, which is known as its cultural heritage, from the Karamojong warriors, the Batwa, the Baganda, the Buganda, the Banyakoli, Acholi. You immerse yourself in the customs, music, dance, and you witness really the unity, how the unity exists amidst diversity. As this journey comes to an end, you realize that it was a journey that has been more than a physical exploration. It has been a spiritual awakening. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, I invite you to discover this country of Uganda. If you've never been here, if you are from here, live a little bit your daily activities and enjoy the Pearl of Africa. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's unmute our mic and clap for our speakers, Toastmaster Deris. Okay, now I am going to invite our evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster Angus, to give us a feedback. Toastmaster Angus?
Thank you, Toastmaster Aiyda. Drissa Soro, well done for this speech, making everyone want to come to Kampala, especially for those that have not been there to visit Uganda. A couple of things I really enjoyed about your speech, and I suggest you keep up. I really enjoyed that you are wearing a kanzu this morning, aligning with the culture of Uganda. Well done on that one, Drissa. The main purpose of your speech was about using descriptive language. You used it. I heard it. You used words like cunning lions, majestic lions, melting pot of culture. There were so many. And when you talk about majestic lion, it makes me imagine that lion, the strength of a lion. So well done on that description. What could you have improved? There are a couple of things that I thought you could have improved. And one of them is I felt you could pick one of the, in the story had so many sub-stories. I would suggest you pick just a few, maybe one, and focus on it. Practice that descriptive language on that particular thing. For example, if you talked about the national park, I'm sure there's so much you could say about that in 5 to 7 minutes. Perhaps you could choose the people, or it could be the Owino market and the hustle that goes on there and the excitement of that Owino market and how it makes you feel to be there. The other thing you could consider is using pauses. There are moments when you could give a very beautiful description. For instance, when you talk about the majestic lion, you described a certain landscape. You could just pause, okay, and then proceed. Just help us to really understand. Let us take in that picture, and then you proceed after that. The other amazing thing that I saw you use were the gestures. I could see the top. You talked about towering, and you showed us that. You talked about the top of the branch and so many others. So that's it from me. Well done. And I look forward to more of your speeches. I think do more of those descriptive speeches. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Thank you, Toastmaster Angus. That was one of the positive feedbacks I have heard so far this week. Now, what makes Kampala Sunrise very, very unique is it's not only one evaluator who gives a feedback to our speakers, but actually the whole audience is invited to give a tip or two on their reflections. For that, may I have a volunteer to give us a feedback on how our first speaker has done? Any volunteers? May I ask our president, Toastmaster Alex?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Aiyda. Great job so far. Most especially, thank you, Drissa, for such an amazing speech. Your speech was a pitch to visit Uganda, and it was clear in your call to action at the end when you said, I invite you to discover this country. I thought you did very well. Your descriptive language was really good. You've come a long way. I used words I didn't know you even had in your vocabulary. Well done, Drissa. If I can just point out how you did it for me, I could picture the border riders on Kampala, the aroma in the air of that Rolex. You really did it. The majesty of its beauty. Visit Uganda. I want to visit Uganda myself. How can you improve on your speech? It's what I felt. Your introduction didn't state a huge case. of why you are talking about Uganda. It did come out clear why. What's the problem you're trying to solve? Is there a lack of publicity? Is Uganda undiscovered, the Pearl of Africa? And it's upon you now to show us what Uganda is. It did come out very clear. I don't know if it did, but it could have come out more clear in your speech. Overall, well done. Great costume or appearance. You look smart in that kanzu. I liked your your choice of language. Well done. Your descriptive language was really, really what made it for me. And you sold it very well. Well done. Look forward to more of your speeches. Back to you, Toastmaster Aiyda.
Thank you, Toastmaster, our President Alex, for that feedback. Okay, can I ask, what kind of an achievement or actions have you taken that makes you this kind of excellent communicator, Toastmaster Alex?
Oh, sorry, Aiyda. Please repeat.
Yes, what kind of an actions have you taken to bring you to become this kind of excellent communicator?
Oh, thank you very much. That's an interesting question. Just seeking to grow, being in spaces like Toastmasters that give you time on the stage. At least in Toastmasters, Kampala Sunrise, you have this moment 3 times a month. And I've been around for over 3 years, so you can imagine. So it's practice, practice, practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now I see Jenny Mule raising her hand to give a comment on our speaker. Toastmaster Jenny?
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. An absolute pleasure. Drisa, your speech, I honestly want to come to Kampala now. I've been to Kampala before, but I want to come because I didn't see all those good things you talked about. Drisa, one of the things I loved so much about your speech is when you said, close your eyes. I mean, that is such a nice way of engaging the audience, which I am going to borrow and use in my speech. And then you let us close our eyes and stay closed. And then you told us now you may open your eyes. Very good way of engaging the audience. And of course, you use colorful language, natural wonders, a heaven of nature, melting pot of culture, a family of gorillas, and you went on and on. Drisa, one of the things I would request that you consider moving forward, I felt like much as you used your hands on the stage, I felt like you kept moving in front and behind, you kept doing like this. So you just want to look out to make sure that any movement you make on stage is intentional. So when you move back or front, it's because of something you're saying and a point that you want to pass through. But otherwise, very good use of the language and good engagement of the audience. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mule. That was a very constructive feedback. Now, I would like to ask a search volunteer to give us a feedback on our speaker. Any volunteers before I pick up a name? Toastmaster Gilbert, are you around? Or Jesse?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. What I enjoyed most has already been shared, but in my own words, I would like to appreciate you, Toastmaster Drisa, for that colorful picture that you have painted about Uganda. I think it made me realize that we have that. I know we do, but I didn't know that is how much it means. So, and especially coming from you, being non-Ugandan, having seen this with an eye that Ugandans may not have seen, because sometimes familiarity brings contempt. Sometimes we take certain things for granted. So I would like to appreciate you for the way you paid attention to certain things and brought them out, like the parks, the animals, the herd of the elephants, the lions. That causes me to want to get on the next trip and go to one of the parks and see this again for myself. So thank you for putting this into perspective. And in my opinion, you excelled as far as descriptive language is concerned. You really painted a picture of what this looks like to someone who is not only Ugandan but also non-Ugandan, just like Jenny has mentioned. So well done, Drisa. And for me, the area of improvement has already been shared. So go right ahead and continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, ATM Jess. But I would like to hear a sentence or two. What kind of an actions have brought you to become this kind of a successful and confident speaker?
Is that for me?
Yes, that's for you. Let's hear your stories. What have you been doing so far that brought you to this kind of energetic?
Okay. Two things. One, according to Malcolm Gladwell, in his book Outliers, he talks about the 10,000-hour rule. And he says you need to do something for 10,000 hours for you to become a master at it. What that simply means, I may not have counted the hours I have spoken. I'm not sure if I'm at 10,000 or less or more, but what I know is that the more I practice, the better I get. They say practice makes perfect. I slightly beg to differ. I think practice makes improvement, because the more I practice, the more I improve. I may not be perfect, because if I deliver a speech, there will be an evaluator that will give me areas of improvement, not areas of perfection. So I will continue to improve. And in Toastmasters, that is the opportunity we have. Toastmasters is like a gym for public speaking. The more you come to the gym and work out, the better you get. Because success comes not from the things we do occasionally, but from the things we do consistently. So my major call to action is, let's embrace consistency in our speaking. And then the second thing, one is consistency. The second thing is passion. Have love for what you're doing. And a good place to start is talk about things that you're passionate about, because your tongue can speak best what your heart loves the most. So when you speak about things that you're passionate about, it will show in your nonverbals, in your eyes, on your face, with your hands, with your body, with your gestures, with the tone of your voice. It will show. So speak about areas that you love and you're passionate about. It will bring out the communicator that is in you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Jess. That was quite a very good tip for all of us to include on. Now, going forward to the second part of the agenda, it comes with a very energetic and one of the best speakers I know in East Africa. And that is going to be led by none other than Toastmaster Jenny. When I asked her what kind of an action has she been doing that brought her to be this kind of charming person, she said, climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and I submitted, learned that I can do whatever my heart sets out to do. Toastmaster Jenny, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good morning, Sunrise Kampala. It is such a joy to be here. It is very early, but it is a joy to be here. My role today as Table Topics Master is to help us to practice and to develop our ability of impromptu speaking. I will ask questions and call out your name and ask you to respond. The whole idea is for us to learn how to think quickly, develop our thoughts, organize them, and then deliver a speech within 1 to 2 minutes. Do not be afraid. Everybody here is practicing how to speak on the spot. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Oops, not that one. Hold on a minute. Allow me, please, to share my screen. And as I am sharing my screen, remember, Table Topics, you do not have to speak the truth. So speak the first thing that comes into your mind. Just go ahead and speak it. Oops, that is Tanzanite. Hold on a minute. Toastmasters. DT and Jesse told us we are always learning. So here we are consistently practicing how to show my slides. I did want to show the slides from this first one, but I did not want you to see the other ones, and I'm not able to do that for some reason, which means Toastmaster of the day, can you confirm you can see my side ones, right? And I didn't want you to see those ones. Hold on a minute. But as I'm talking, think about
Yes, I can see the full screen.
Right, right. Hold on a minute. Toastmasters, yes.
Try F5, try pressing F5 on your keyboard. It will go to
F5, is that so?
presentation mode.
F5?
Yeah.
Oh, funny, it didn't work. But you know what? I'm not gonna worry about that. Let me ask the first question anyway, even as I try to do this. Toastmasters, the first question, the theme of the day is connecting the dots. Connecting the dots. My question is, which dots in your life are refusing to connect? Which dots in your life are refusing to connect? Annie? Is Annie a Toastmaster? Alex?
She's a guest.
Oh, she's a guest. Okay, Annie, hold on. Don't answer that one. Peter Muganga is a Toastmaster.
Peter is okay. Peter can take it.
Okay, Peter, which dots in your life are not connecting? Okay.
Hello, good morning, Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I'm Peter. I'm also a guest, but I'll attempt I'll give it a shot. So that the dots that are not connecting. The dots that are not connecting are I would say knowledge and
Is it his connection that's not very good? Peter, I can no longer hear you.
Hello?
Hello, start again, Peter.
Okay.
You lost connection.
Okay, that changes my thing a bit. Okay, the dots that are not connecting. Looks like I'll now go with connection. Technology, look at the dots that are not connecting. It looks like I'm having a bad internet connection, so that is not coming out correctly. This it's the connection to the meeting seems to be poor, and this seems to be the dots that are not connecting for me in my life right now.
Very good, Peter. The connection is not connecting. Toastmasters and guests, remember, when you are given a table topics question, you can always rephrase it. If I ask it in the negative, you can say it in the positive. And now let's go to a positive question, and let me ask, which dots in your life are connecting so well? Which dots in your life are connecting so well? Julian? Julian, are you there?
I'm there. I'm a guest today, but I'll give it an attempt. The dots in my life that are connecting are the dots of business entrepreneurship skills. I have great competence there, and I try to lobby where to get money from the best places possible and with the right people, so that I can get to connect other people in my engagements and in my life.
Very good, Julian. Her business acumen is working for her. That is so good. And all truth is parallel. If her business acumen is working for her, so is her public speaking. Toastmasters, our next question is, don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And this one goes to Gracious. Is Gracious still in the room? Gracious? Is he in the room? Alex, is Gracious in the room? I think not.
He must have left.
He must have left. Okay. Doreen. Doreen, if not Doreen, Viola. Viola, are you there? Danny. Okay, Viola, you are muted. Please go ahead. Viola, I thought you unmuted. Danny, are you there? Okay, I can't see.
Yes. Can I check it? Okay.
Okay, Danny, go ahead.
Thank you, and a good morning to you all. Yeah, there are quite often there are moments when I feel there are noises out there, but not to distract what I purpose to do. I have had scenarios where what I would term as noises out there speak that I can't do. I can't jargon many things that I go, especially doing work, doing business, doing books. But from my experience, I just have been able to jargon all of these, doing side hustle businesses, doing books, studying, and also being effective at my workplace. It's just all about how I'm prioritizing my time, and it's working for me. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Danny. It is working for him. Get the voices out of your head and concentrate on what you need to be doing. Thank you very much. And with that, back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Aiyda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Juliet. That was such an engaging, very entertaining table topics that also connects well with the theme of this morning. Now, moving forward, we are going to have an educational session. Educational session is going to be led by none other than Juliet. Juliet, before you start giving us the educational sessions, can you please tell us what kind of an action have you taken that helped you become the successful person that you are now? Toastmaster Juliet?
Thank you, Toastmaster Aiyda, and a very good morning to all of you. What have I taken to become who I am today? I think one of the biggest dots that I have connected is joining Toastmasters. It's been an incredible journey since 2018, and I have grown in leaps and bounds. For starters, I am a very reluctant leader, but I have taken on roles at Toastmasters that I never imagined I would. And it's been an amazing journey with the great Kampala Sunrise Toastmasters Club. So when I look back, that is the biggest dot I have connected to become who I am today. Okay, thank you so much once again Toastmaster Aiyda for joining us this morning and helping us run this meeting. My name is Juliet Oyela, and I am the Vice President Education for Kampala Sunrise Toastmasters Club. Allow me to share my screen as I start my education this morning. Timer, I intend to use no more than 10 minutes. So if you could time me on that, I would appreciate that very much. So the role of the Vice President Education at Toastmasters Club, it's a heavy one, I must say, and anyone who has been a Vice President Education can attest to that. Are there any Vice President Education in the house today from another club? By show of hands.
Former Vice Presidents, former.
Yay, I'm happy to have you in the house. And President Alex has also been VPE before. So you will help me out in case I miss out on anything vital to be shared in this educational day. So VPE, what you need to know, the acronym is famously referred to as the one who vigorously pushes everyone in the VPE circle, because that's what they do. They are after every person to ensure they are meeting their goals and pushing the club forward. The VPE also deputizes the president when he's absent. The person is the ultimate club mentor. Toastmasters is an area of growth, and without mentors, that might be a challenge. So the VPE is top on that role. The VPE is also in charge of the club's educational program, which is the heart of the Toastmaster organization, because we are all here to grow. So what is the role of the VPE? I'm going to group them into 3 distinct categories. And this really relates to what they aim to achieve in the club. So the VPE is responsible for ensuring meeting quality, club success, and member relations. In here, for the meeting quality, what do? They schedule meetings. Every single time a meeting is happening at a club, the VPE is somewhere behind the scenes. You have to chase members to take up roles. One of the things I dread as a VPE is people who drop off at the last minute. The person is scheduled to speak in the morning of the meeting day. They'll call you, hello, I can't make it, something has come up. That is the call I dread the most. So what do you need to do? You must have backup. Ensure that you have a backup speaker or an educational speaker at some point, so that if something like that happens, you're able to run through the meeting seamlessly. You also assign roles. Ensure that people are volunteering for roles. I find that most times people love to speak, but rarely volunteer for the tag roles. And in my case, even Toastmaster of the day has been quite a challenge. So you need to encourage members and help them see the benefit of taking up those roles in addition to speaking. Because while you're speaking, someone is serving you. And while someone else is speaking, you should be available to serve as a timer, grammarian, or the arc counter, as well as evaluating and also being able to take on the role of the Toastmaster of the day to run the meeting. The VPE also manages the club schedules and sets the meeting agenda. You have to be creative in ensuring that the meetings are not monotonous. I have had great support from the EXCO members to just twist the meeting up a bit. We've had very many themes. We had our 100th meeting, we're celebrating a centurion. Then we had, we had the masquerade meeting, just changing the theme and the settings of the meeting helps to keep members alive and active and wanting to join further meetings in the club. Club success as role for VPE, basically 3 things, but in addition to that, there are others. The VPE would be responsible for coordinating speech contests. Every year, the area or district, I think, holds about 4 contests, but the first one is usually at the club. So you have to encourage members and seek them out to participate in these speech contests, which of course we all know is a great area of growth. You cannot remain the same after participating in a speech contest because your comfort zone has expanded and you can't go back to who you are. You also coordinate the people that move from your club at the speech contest to the next level at the area and further on to the district. VPE is also responsible for training, ensuring that club executive members are joining trainings organized by the district and the area, but also training of new members in pathways, working together with the vice president membership to ensure that members are growing and they are getting relevant training in the area where their goals are targeted at. The VPE is also an executive member at the club, and together with the vice president, with the president, represent the club at the area and district councils. And because of that, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the VPE deputizes the president when he's not around, and is also able to track and drive progress towards educational goals for members. The VPE is a base camp manager, so you need to check in and ensure that members are actually growing, that they're progressing from one level to the next in their pathways, but also that in there they are moving towards their set goals. So it definitely helps that you are relational with people to understand their growth needs and be able to point them to the right pathway or program that they need to participate in. So that is for club success. I think 8 out of, is it 6 or 8 out of the 10 club goals are under the VPE, under the education program. So it is a mouthful and a handful, but it is very, very possible because you're not working alone, you're working with a great team of EXCO members who are supporting you all the way. Member relations is another role that the VPE targets to achieve. And in here, you are running the mentorship program. The VPE is the mentoring champion. You will be able to assign and supervise mentors who are to help and explain club standards to new members, but also encourage members along their chosen path of growth in leadership and communication skills. You're also to ensure objectives of the mentoring program are achieved. So that means checking in with mentors and mentees on a regular basis. In your relationship with members, you aim to know member goals and encourage and support them. You're also the achievement specialist, publicist. What would we do without celebrating wins? People are achieving great things. And in this regard, I have had great support from the president, who is a big celebrant of success, as well as our VPPR. She's always showing up with great award certificates for people after achievements, both within the Toastmaster program and outside. Toastmasters are growing in every area of life. People are getting promotions, writing books, great achievements. That needs to be celebrated, and it helps to keep the club together in a spirit of a group and a team. So you celebrate success for people both inside and outside, and recognize achievements through those rewards which sometimes the Toastmaster program provides. What's in it for you? That's $1 million question, that's all. So you're not just going to donkey away, but you're coming out with, you won't leave anything on the table. You won't just pick a branch, you're carrying a whole tree with you as you journey on with the role of Vice President Education. There's so much to learn because of what you carry yourself through and the programs that you encourage your members to attend. And some of them, I have listed them here, but there's a myriad others that people have attested to having attained. Critical thinking. As VPE, you must think on your feet. Like I mentioned earlier, someone drops off at the last minute, what are you going to do? You must be able to quickly connect the dots. Who do I call on? Or if you haven't already had a backup person in place. Organization and problem solving. During speech contest coordination, your biggest strength is going to be your organization skills. You must coordinate people, judges, and ensuring that the speakers on time, they qualify, check their qualification and eligibility, and just make sure that the speech contests are being carried out according to the standards and procedures that Toastmasters provides. Strategic thinking and planning in organizing club meetings. Where do you take the club meeting? How do you mash it up for some excitement? That is all there. Successful mentoring techniques. At work, I lead a team of about 100 people. Outside Toastmasters, I would never be able to coach and mentor these people, but I have learned so much from this role that I have a team as well. I'm more or less mentoring mentors because it's big. I can't handle everybody in the 100 group. So I have a critical group that I am working with who are also working with other people. Then you're able to evaluate individuals' performance and determine their weaknesses. I know who I can run to at the last minute to say, please come and take on this role. There are people you reach out to and you know that this one will not handle, or will not come through. But you know what else they can be good at, and you will be able to maximize their strengths and then eliminate their weaknesses by encouraging them to be more focused on the areas of their strength. You're able to motivate others to set and achieve personal goals because you're in charge of the education program. And one of your annual goals should be to become a distinguished club under the educational program. So you're able to get people to move on their personal goals achievement. And then finally, succession planning. You are not a good leader if you cannot leave someone to replace you. And so in the club, you're working with other executive members to ensure that there's somebody they're working with, mentoring along the path. And when their term is over, there's somebody ready to step in. So I hope I have encouraged you to take on the role of VPE and other roles at the club. There are various others, the president, VPE, VPM, vice president membership, VPPR, publication and relations, secretary, treasurer. All these are areas for growth, and the opportunity is now as we are about to get into a season of electing new members. I want to leave you with a quote from Ginny Rometty. I learned to take on things I've never done before because growth and comfort do not coexist. get out of your comfort zone, take on a role on it. Thank you very much. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we all unmute our mic and clap for our Toastmaster Juliet for giving us such kind of an amazing educational session?
Hooray.
I am sure that many of you, especially the new members, are going to be eager to sign up for one of the roles. If not the VPE, then you can always sign up for the other roles in order for you to develop your leaderships. I have never enrolled as a VPE, but when I was a president and when the VPE felt I have to fill in the shoes, and I know that was tough, but one of the top lessons that I have learned out of it is the planning the skills and always trying to deal with what you have, how to accommodate with the resources that's remaining with you. So those two things are the top skills that I have learned in working or filling up the shoes of a VPE. Now, moving forward.
Yeah, Modi,
now
can I
moving
request
forward
that
to our agenda.
a small request? I have failed to stop sharing. Please, someone remove my screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. President, can you help us remove the screen? Yes, it's done. Thank you. Okay, I believe that everything is going as per the schedule regarding our times, but let's officially hear it, how we've been doing so far. For that, I would like to invite our timer, Toastmaster Angus, for that. Toastmaster Angus, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Our speaker of the day, Mr. Adriso, was able to speak within the time limits. He took 6 minutes and 26 seconds. Our evaluator, Agnes Katushabe, was able to give her evaluation within time. She took 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Alex, Jenny, and Jesse, our volunteer evaluators, were also within time. They were able to do this within 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 7 seconds, 1 minute, 12 seconds, respectively. Our table topic speakers, the guest, Peter, was able to speak within 1 minute, therefore he was within time. Julian, 42 seconds, and Danny took 47 seconds. All of them were able to comply with the time limits. However, our Vice President, Education, Juliet, was able to give her presentation within 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. That looks like that you have been listening to us so attentively that you recorded the time correctly. Thank you for that. We don't have the timer on the, I'm sorry, we don't have the grammarian and the hack counter in the room, so I'm going to now be ready to hand over the podium to Mr. President. But before that, I would like to share my stories. What kind of actions have I taken to become this kind of a member and a Toastmaster, or this kind of an entrepreneur in my life? Well, most of you might not know this, but I love to travel, and traveling around helps me to connect with a lot of people. And those people that I met while traveling, some of them have ended up to be my friends. And with that, they have helped me grow more personally and professionally. Travelings have been my passion, so I'm rolling as a travel consultant as my career. But yet, due to that, I am able to join a Toastmasters where I'm heading to achieve my highest achievement this week. That is the DTM. But that roles did not just come up easily. I had to log in to a lot of Toastmasters Club, take a lot of roles, take a lot of speech, take a lot of table topic speaker roles in order to work on myself, my communication and leadership skills. Those all small actions connected to bring the picture that you are now seeing. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'm going to leave you with one quote before I hand over my roles to Mr. President. Martin Luther King says, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. If you are ready to be the next club officers, this is your chance to sign up and work on yourself. Mr. President, the floor is now yours.
A round of applause for Toastmaster Aiyda. Well done. Well done. Let's unmute and give her that amazing ululation. Ululu.
I have some backup in the background. I hope you heard that.
We had it. We had it. Indeed. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. In the words of Steve Jobs, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, but you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And Aiyda has just given us a wonderful reflection on a Toastmasters journey. So as we go out today, this morning, look at the dots you have connected. Sometimes we are always rushing to achieve the next big thing, but we forget to look backwards and see how far we've come. So this morning, I think Aiyda's request is for you to look back and see how far your dots have connected. Thank you very much, Aiyda. Thank you everyone for joining in. It's 7:33 and it's good to see our division director, Jesse. Jesse, can you just say something to us?
Good morning. It's been a pleasure being part of Sunrise. Always a joy to connect with the early birds and the sunrisers in this club. Thank you all for the great contribution. Thank you, Juliet, for that inspirational moment. Thank you for that educational. Thank you, our visiting Toastmaster of the Day, Division E Director. And of course, our table topics master, Janie Mule. Great to see you always. And it's always a pleasure to be a part of this club. One of the clubs that I always look forward to visiting because of the creativity, the ingenuity that you bring into Toastmasters meetings. And like Juliet has mentioned, the way you twist things so that we break routine and not always have mundane meetings, but bringing variety, bringing creativity and innovation. I think you are the stars when it comes to that. And I just want to applaud you and appreciate you and encourage you to keep up the good work. That said, next week, we head down to Dar es Salaam. If you already have your ticket, let me see your show. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand if you already have your ticket. You already have your ticket. Okay. In case you don't have your ticket yet, please get yourself one. Don't miss the opportunity to travel, to network, to connect, to meet people beyond your club. So if you're able to, please do. In case you're not able to for one reason or another, look out for a link that will be shared so that you can plug in online and be part of the experience. We shall be growing better, stronger together. Back to you, President.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jesse, and thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jenny Mule. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Aiyda. I hope I'm correct, Jenny. Yeah, so why am I mentioning distinguished Toastmaster? It's always a pleasure having distinguished Toastmasters in the room, and I want to encourage Kampala Sunrise members on the call to take up that club officer role. We shared the roles on the group. Many of them are still available. Nominate yourself or talk to us and we nominate you. You can take a bold step and stand up and then take up a club officer role, because guess what? To become a distinguished Toastmaster, you have to tick off that box of having been a club officer. So if you have a dream to be called a DTM, this is your chance. This is your chance. You have that box to tick. If you can just serve Kampala Sunrise as a club officer for the next 12 months. And guess what? You won't be doing it alone. All of us on this call will be here to work with you. So it's easy peasy, right? Thank you very much. I know our time is quickly spent. I want to acknowledge our guests on the call. Annie, we see you. Doreen, we see you. Dani, we see you. Nora, that's Nora Njagali from Exit Toastmasters. We see you. I'm not sure who Jess is, but if you can stay behind after this meeting, we can have a